Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. It's Burns and Feather Podcast. Your boy Q City here after a just terrible loss to the Raptors. Um, bro, I think coming away from this game, we are just so damn average. And that's the part that that's what sucks. It's very evident that we don't have the firepower like other teams in the East, right? Definitely not teams in the West, and it leads to us losing to 7-win teams, right? The Raptors have been terrible all year long. They've been bad, you know what I'm saying? And they came in here today, scored 120 points, right? Um, Beat us up on rebounds, was able to they didn't even have a particularly great shoot night. Um, I stayed. I tried to listen to the press conferences and excuses and everything. I don't have the stats in front of me because I'm just giving an off the cuff reaction. Bro, I'm sick. I'm sick. That was a terrible loss. There was no reason for that loss. Um, First half we were down as much as 15. And I understand. I understand the game plan changes. It's the it's the second night of a back to back, right? But one, you're home, right? So you didn't have to travel for this back to back. But it's the second night of a back to back. Jalen goes out super early in the game. Really concerned about that shoulder at this point because it kept him out for about 3 weeks earlier. He was in some obvious pain. Went to the locker room. He never even came back out. Right. So like, are we talking torn labrum? Are we talking AC joint? What's going on? What's going on there? Right. So I get that. Jalen's out. Zach's been out. He's gonna get reevaluated at the end of the week. Then you got Clint was also out, right? Not a good. We'll get the big O. Clint was out, and so it's like, yo, we are getting thin. Roddy got big minutes tonight. Um, Dominic got big minutes tonight. We're small, you know what I'm saying. We have no true rim protection. It was an ugly game to watch, and down the stretch we had spots. I know most people will be like, Trey shouldn't have went for that three. I think were they down one, down two? It might have been down too late. Trey went for a three. No, they had to be down one. Yeah, because Trey went for a three, then they fouled. Buddy hit the two free throws. They was down three. Coming out of the timeout, the first, I get it. You were trying to see how they were gonna play you on that first timeout. It looked like a dummy play was drawn up just to, you know, see how they were playing you off the inbound, and then you line up in a stack, and out of your stack, they covered it. You have to go for the three. So like roll action to the rim and then a pass out to the corner because you have 2.7. Like Big O was able to get the ball, dribble, lean, and let go. You know what I'm saying? So like at 2.7, you can get an action to the rim, and then if you're in the middle of the court, you're in the middle of the court, play 1 in 4 out off a stack, and have him shoot to either corner or top a key. And I get it. You don't want the ball to travel too far in the air, and then you rush the shot mechanic. But like, give yourself a shot. Big O taking that shot, the last shot of the game. I guess Trey took your last shot that mattered, but still, no one like that. No one like that. But I'm not even here to bang on Quinn's coaching because I don't think he did a really bad job. I think he's just been kind of dealt a crappy hand. Now, the thing I will say, a coaching move that I have been calling for since the middle of last year is now really starting to look rough, right? So, O's been in the starting lineup. To be fair, we have not seen O with the full starting lineup, right? Veet has been in, because Zach's been out. We are really struggling at the backup point guard position. We are going to have to make a move at the trade deadline, and what's it called? Jalen's going out. But in the 3 games in a row he started, we are 0-3, right? Tonight, Big O was 19-12. or 19 and 11. Either way, right up under 20 points, right over 10 rebounds. Productive. Productive against a team that, is starting Kelly Olynyk and Chris Boucher. These are older guys. These are guys who are good for Toronto's culture and building with the young guys. But like, you're not going against like world beaters here, right? Your boy that was drafted super high, like number 5 overall. His name's escaping me right now. Big European center dude. You know what I'm saying? He's on the team too. But you shouldn't dominate these games. But like 19 and 11, that sounds about right for what you should have got from this team. Bogey was able to turn it back on, but now Dre is in a slump. Dre is in a hell of a slump. And I think it's because he got used to having that really big green light, being off the bench, being that spark plug. He did fall in love with the three a little bit. I think up until about the third quarter, they put it out there that he was 0-13 in his last couple games. He hit like 2 or 3 down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? Bogey came on after being, Bogey's been god awful for about for about a week and a half now. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to come back on. Um, I just think guys are being stepped in the roles that they just really aren't ready for. Do you move Veet? I don't know. I like him. I like him on the team. What are you going to get out of him? Garrison Matthews, who's had a couple hot flashes, just wasn't able to connect this game. I don't know if you move one of those core pieces like Dre, who is developed cleanly into a 6-man. If you move Clint, you got to be sure Larry's coming back. If Larry comes back, you really are just you really small down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of want to keep Clint for the size. Do you move Larry into his contract very, very early into his tenure? I like Larry. I think he can be a serviceable big. He provides depth, and you're not cleanly relying on another. No disrespect to Dominic, but another, D League, G League type of player, as a rotational big at that point in case one of your guys goes down. And it's not like we're really scalping the free agent market for bigs or guards. You know what I'm saying? Like, Quinn is kind of really pulling up a makeshift offense. And the part that's like crazy to me is like, we're not super up against the salary cap like that. You know what I'm saying? That you can't go out and get a vet minimum big, and not to harp on it too much. But this is why the Cody Zeller being on your roster still is really, really frustrating, right? Because it's like, we're gonna make a trade. He's been away for personal reasons. I get that, but he is legit taking up a roster spot, especially Kobe Buff getting out for the season. You're starting to see these injuries pile up with Jalen. And granted, we've been able to sustain. Tonight's loss moved us 22-22. We are playing 500 ball. But that's how I started off saying, like, we are so decidedly just freaking average. You know what I'm saying? We can beat the Celtics twice, and then we could lose to the Raptors. And that's the type of team that we have. Like, that's the type of team we are. And that's frustrating because, like, you expect a young team to kind of learn how to win, right? Trey's 26. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I ain't saying like, oh, he's on the wrong side of 30 type thing. Like, Trey's 26, right? Jalen's 22. Risha says 19, 20, somewhere in there. Clint, he'll be gone, if not at the trade deadline by the end of the season. And they'll most likely get a free agent big. I don't see a blockbuster. They'll most likely get a free agent big. Just, like middle of the road guy. But that age is probably going to be around 26 to 29. Dyson is 22 or 23. Dyson's 22 or 23. And then Dre is about 24, 25. So, like, we're not an old team, but we're not necessarily super, super young. Like, I know there's still ways in which we have to learn how to win. it's just frustrating when you see that we have the talent and the overall ability to win. And everybody talks about that 21 run. And, if you've been listening to me for any sort of time, you know that I don't say that the bubble championship was the Fugazi one. I think the Bucks championship was, right? But by proxy, that means that 21 run wasn't as special or amazing as everybody thinks it was. And it's not popular among Hawks fans to say that, but it's true. It showed that, Trey had big playoff moments and whatnot. But I'm more so thinking about it from the terms of like our positioning in the regular season. So going into those playoffs, I'm pretty sure we were a 5 seed, if I'm not mistaken, and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We haven't sniffed a 5 seed in the year since then, right? Like 2 playing rounds, 9 seed, and 9 seed, and then I think 10 seed. Yeah, 9 seed, and then a 10 seed, and we haven't sniffed the playoffs. We haven't had half the success in the regular season that we need to be considered a contender in any way, shape, or form. And it's actually pretty revolutionary that we're, playing 500 ball right now, considering we had the number one pick. And people are like, oh, we had bad odds and we stole the number one pick. Yeah, but we were a 10 seed last year. You know what I'm saying? And I think 40 and 42, a couple games under 500. So, like, that's what we're trending to this season. No improvement year over year. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. And it just average. Very, very average. And that's the team that we have right now. Sorry, this one wasn't as upbeat. Hopefully I'm touching these fans in Australia that came to see Dyson. Trust me, I talk about Hawks all the time. Really tapped in with the team. Love to hear from you guys and whatnot. If you're listening to this on the Spotify, follow on the YouTube at BOAF Media, on all platforms. But BOAF Media allows you to get the live as soon as this drops before, put the edits together and whatnot. And then all the games, reactions for the week, drop on, put them all together, drop them on Saturday. So appreciate y'all. It's been your boy Q City, and I'm out. Peace.